Hey guys, welcome back to Minutes Break. This is gonna be my first video of 2025, and it's all about the gem and it's all about the legend, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who just left us in December 26, 2024 because of age issue, that is breathing problem. Manmohan Singh was born in the year of 1932, but we are not gonna see his childhood or all these things which you see randomly in internet or which other YouTubers have said you. We are gonna see his achievement, why he is a gem of a character. So it's all about in 1948 he completes matriculation. In 1952 to 54 he finishes bachelor's and master's from Punjab University, and in 1957 he got honors in economics from Cambridge and joins Punjab University as a teacher. In 1962 he completes DPhil in economics from Oxford University. In 1963 he returns to Punjab University as a professor in economics. In 1966 to 69 he joins UN Conference on Trade and Development. In 1969 to 71 he is a professor at Delhi School of Economics. And in 1971 he is economic advisor in Commerce Ministry. And in 1972 to 76 he is a chief economic advisor to Ministry of Finance. And in 1976 he is a secretary in Finance Ministry, and he is honored professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University. And in 1982 to 85 he is a governor of Reserve Bank of India, and from 85 to 87 he is a deputy chairman of Planning and Commission, and 87 he is awarded as a Padma Vibhushan. In 90 to 91 he is an economic advisor to Prime Minister of India, and in 1991 he is the chairman of University Grants Commission and finance minister under P.V. Narasimha Rao, who elected to Rajya Sabha and re-elected in 1995, 2001, 2007, 2013 and 2019. And in 1991 to 1996 he brings economic reforms and eliminates Permit Raj. And in 2004 he becomes the fourth Prime Minister of India. In 2005 he signs Indo-US Civil Nuclear Deal with US President George W. Bush. In 2007 India achieves GDP growth rate of 9% and becomes second fastest growing major economy in the world. And in 2009 he wins the second term, first Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru of 1962 to win a re-election after completing full term. And now let's see the economic liberalization of Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was appointed by Finance Minister in the year of 1991 by Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. India economy at the time was facing a serious financial crisis with the country's foreign reserves at a dangerously low level, barely enough to pay for 2 weeks of imports. And he led the initiative to deregulate the economy to avoid its collapse, which he argued was otherwise imminent. Despite stiff opposition from members of his government and party was there, he took bold measures that included devaluing the currency, reducing import tariffs and privatizing state-owned companies. And he was famously quoted as saying in Parliament during his first budget speech in 1991 that no power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. Absolute perfect Prime Minister. The Congress party made a comeback in 2004 election, handling a surprise defeat to the government led to the Atal Bihari Vajpayee of Bharat Janata Party, which is BJP. And in the next parliamentary election, he helped his party win a bigger mandate. But critics termed him as a remote control Prime Minister managed by the Gandhi family. He faced a lot of critics, a lot from this BJP, but he stood tall and focused on his job just like that. He need to learn a lot from him to get all this inspiration, such a gem of a character. And he may have started his first stint as a Prime Minister with some reluctance, but he soon stamped his authority on the top job, and he was the best. And you would be saying country's GDP grew at a healthy average pace of around 8%, the second fastest among major economies. He took bold decisions on reforms and brought more foreign investment into the country. Experts credit him for shielding India from 2008 global financial crisis. In alliance with disparate group of party was marked by allegations of corruption against some of his cabinet minister, though his personal integrity was never questioned. But it's all about when you do something good, if a rotten piece is coming into the group, you might get that bad name. So he got that bad name, but still he was a gem of a character. In response to all these allegations, he told journalists in 2014 in his last press conference as Prime Minister that he hoped history would judge him differently, and it has been proved. And honestly, if you see right now, our present PM, have you ever seen in the media? Never. He would never come. But see, when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh traveled to each and every foreign places, he would meet up all this media and he would discuss. That's the gem of a minister. gem of a prime minister. I honestly believe and a lot of changes in right to education, information and identity. As Prime Minister took several factor-reaching decisions that continue to impact the health of Indian democracy even today, he introduced new law that strengthened and guaranteed the right to seek information from the government, allowing citizens an extraordinary power to hold official accounts. Also introduced a rural employment scheme which guaranteed livelihood for a minimum of 100 days, a measure economists said had a profound impact on rural income and poverty reduction. And he also brought in a law that guaranteed the right to free and compulsory education for children between age of 6 and 14, significantly reducing the school dropout rates. And this government also introduced a unique identity project called Aadhaar to improve the financial inclusion and delivery of welfare benefits to the poor. The current federal government run by Prime Minister Modi has continued to keep Aadhaar as a cornerstone for many of us. In 1984, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by the Sikh bodyguard to average a military action she had ordered against suppression hiding in Sikhism holiest temple in northern Indian Amritsar. Her death sparked massive violence that resulted in the death of more than 3,000 Sikhs and widespread destruction of their family. He formally apologized to the nation in 2005 in Parliament, saying the violence were the negation of the concept of nationhood enhanced in our constitution. He had said he had no hesitation in apologizing to Sikh community. No other prime minister, particularly from the Congress party, had gone this for apologies in Parliament for this riots. And next, it is all about deal with USA. He just signed a historic deal with US in 2008 to end India nuclear isolation after its 1998 testing of the weapon system. His government argued that the deal would help meet India's growing energy needs and sustain its healthy growth rate. The deal, seen as a watershed moment in the India-US relation, promised to grant a waiver to India to commerce, civil and nuclear trade with the US and the rest of the world. But it faced massive opposition, with critics of the deal alleging that it would compromise India's sovereignty and independence in foreign policy. In protest, the left and withdraw support from the governing alliance. And these were said by Obama, a gentle, soft-spoken economist in his 70s with a white beard and a turban that were the marks of a Sikh faith, but to the Western eye lent him for a hair of holy man. He had been India's finance minister in the 1990s, managing to lift millions of people from poverty for the duration of his tenure as a prime minister. And the former US president writes that his first trip to India was in 2010, but that the place had always held a special place in his imagination. He says this is possibly due to the sheer size with a sixth of humanity and 2,000 distinct ethnic groups and over 700 language, or he speculates it could be because he had listened to the Mahabharata and Ramayana during his childhood in Indonesia, or his interest in Asian religion, or because group of Indian and Pakistani friends in college laughed him how to cook dal and keema and introduced all those Bollywood movies. And Mr. Obama writes at length about Gandhiji's life and his legacy, including the inspiration US civil rights leader Martin Luther King drew from Gandhiji's philosophy. And Obama talks about the striking inequality between the rich and poor and says violence, both public and private, continue to be an all too pervasive part of Indian life. And what I couldn't tell was whether Singh's rise to power represent the future of India's democracy or merely an aberration. And Mr. Singh's restraint against Pakistan after the November 2011 attack in Mumbai had cost him politically. And Mr. Singh feared that rising anti-Muslim sentiment had strengthened the influence of India's main opposition party, the Hindu nationalist Bharat Janata Party. Mr. Obama writes, going on, quote, Mr. Singh, that in uncertain times, Mr. President, the Prime Minister said the call of religious and ethnic solidarity can be intoxicating, and it is so hard for politicians to exploit that in India or anywhere else. And Mr. Obama described the rise of liberalism in wealthy nations. And that's the story of Manmohan Singh. There is a lot of information, ocean of information about Manmohan Singh, but I just took out the best out of it in order to reach out the nation people. The world people must know who was Manmohan Singh, sir. He was admitted in AIMS Hospital where he had a brief problem, and 26 December 2024 he just left us. Apart from that, he had lost his consciousness. He was a gem of a leader. How much he has done for the country. What else he had to improve? That's the question. He reformed banking, boosted competition, and improved public sector companies. And 2005, India switched from sales tax to value-added taxes. And as finance minister, worked to reduce farmers' debt and supported pro-industry policy. Dr. Manmohan Singh commitment to development and his many achievements have been recognized through the many honors that have been conferred upon him. These include the Padma Vibhushan in 1980, the Euro Money Award for Finance Minister of the Year in 1993, the Asia Money Award for Finance Minister of the Year in both 1993 and 1994, and the Jawaharlal Nehru Birth Century Award for the Indian Science Congress in 1995. And however, Dr. Manmohan Singh is known not only for his vision that led India to become an economic powerhouse, but also for his hard work and his humble, soft-spoken demeanor. He is a prime minister who will be remembered not only for the leap and bounds by which he took India forward, but also as a man of thought and of integrity. This special gem is missed, and right now India is facing the threat of the decades. You can see this present finance minister, how she is complicating the Indian GDP and Indian people into tears, right? So that's what I say you. Manmohan Singh is one person who can live for the people, die for the people. Big salute to you, sir. This is a video for you, and this would be the epic topic of this 2025, which I just planned, executed just for you and your fans. As that, I would be a big fan of you forever. So with that thought, I'm in this video. Jai Hind.